I did everything that you ask of me, but you still go about cheating on me, not only with women, but also men.
Please, forgive me.
I was nothing but a good and caring wife to you. What did I do to deserve this? Kelvin, I loved you with all my heart. What did I do to deserve this?
Please forgive me, baby. Please don't leave me.
My name is Chioma, and I have been married for 5 years. 5 years of doctor appointments. 5 years of injections and medications. 5 years of crying in hospital toilets asking God why he was punishing me. 5 years of blaming myself for something that was never my fault. Every time, it was the same thing. An infection. They would treat it, and it would go away. Then a few months later, it would come back. Again. And again. And again. I kept asking questions. But the answers never changed. Some infections are stubborn, they said. That infection was destroying my womb and I wasn't able to have children. I couldn't understand why all this was happening to me. I was drained, exhausted and tired not knowing what to do. Every negative result felt like a personal failure. Every treatment felt like hope, followed by disappointment. And through all of it, my husband was there. Holding my hand. Praying with me. Telling me everything would be okay. He was my strength, he kept on telling me not to lose hope, he was always by my side, he never blamed me for anything. We both had hope that one day we would carry our own child. Then one day, something came to my mind. A small voice in my head that said, "Go to a different hospital." And for some reason, I listened. And told my husband. He supported me. But he couldn't go with me because he had a business meeting. So I went alone to the new hospital. The doctor I met there was different. He didn't rush me. He didn't dismiss me. He read through my entire history carefully, then looked at me and asked, "Madam, I want to ask you a very serious question. Are you certain you are only sleeping with your husband?" I was shocked. I looked at the doctor and said, "I can never do that, doctor, I'm very faithful to my husband." Then he said, "How about your husband? Is he faithful to you?" I laughed. Because the question felt almost insulting. "Kelvin. Cheat? Never. My husband cannot and will never cheat on me. We are both faithful to each other." Then I asked the doctor, "Please, why all these questions?" He looked at me calmly and said, "The infection you've been dealing with is sexually transmitted. And it has likely been affecting your chances of getting pregnant." Then he added, "For your treatment to work, you need to avoid any intimacy with your husband for at least 1 month." I was shocked and then I asked the doctor, "Are you sure about this?" The doctor replied, "I'm very sure, Ma. You will be on medication for 1 month and avoid intimacy. Let's see the changes." I stood up with the medications and left. As I was driving home, I kept on thinking and asking myself, is this doctor sure he knows what he's doing? I trust Kelvin with my whole life and I believe he can never cheat on me. So when I got home, I made dinner and we both had dinner. Kelvin said he was so tired, so I told him to go and rest. Then, I did something I had never done before in these 5 years of marriage. I picked up my husband's phone. There were messages. So many messages. Different women. Different conversations. Different plans. Photos I wish I could erase from my memory. Dates. Locations. Money transfers. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a pattern. A lifestyle. Naked pictures. So many. From so many different women I could not even count them. Money transfers every single week. There was not one single day on that phone where my husband had not been with someone. Both weekdays and weekends. Then I came to a contact. Saved as my supplier. And the message is there. My hand started shaking. Before I even finished reading. "Good evening, my Oga. How many I go bring come this weekend? And my husband?" Replied. 3 as usual. 2 girls. 1 boy. I read that message over and over again. I still couldn't understand what I have just read. Even boys. No. No. So my husband, my Kelvin, is sleeping with boys too. God, please, this should better be a joke. So I sent that message to myself. Deleted it from his phone. Put the phone back carefully. And walked to the sitting room. And I wept. Not cried. Wept. The kind of weeping that has no sound. Just tears falling. And your whole body shaking. And the slow, terrible understanding that everything you thought was real was never real at all. It was because of him. We had no child. He knew. He sat in those hospital waiting rooms with me. He held my hand. He prayed with me at night. He watched me blame myself. And he knew. The whole time. I couldn't sleep that night. The next morning. I didn't say a single word. I woke up early, went into the kitchen, and made his breakfast, just like I always did. When Kelvin came to the table, he looked at me and said, "My love, how did the new doctor's appointment go?" "I'm sorry about yesterday, I was really tired." I smiled. And I said, "He's put me on a 1-month treatment, and he said I shouldn't sleep with my husband until it's done." Kelvin didn't even hesitate. He looked at me and said, "If that's what it takes, if it will help us have our own child, then I'm ready to do anything. I just want you to be happy. I love you." I smiled again and said, "Thank you, baby. I appreciate it." He stood up, kissed my forehead, then left for work. The moment I heard the gate close, I picked up my phone and called my sister. "Uche, I need you. Please come over." She arrived within the hour. I didn't waste time. I sat her down and told her everything. Every single thing. She didn't interrupt me. She didn't say a word. She just sat there, listening. Then I took my phone and showed her the message. The one from the contact saved as supplier. Uche's mouth dropped open. And for almost a full minute, she couldn't say anything. Her eyes widened as she stared at the message on my phone, then she looked up at me and said, "Chioma, your husband is not only sleeping with women. He's sleeping with men too." For a second, I couldn't breathe. Then we both screamed. Right there in my sitting room, 2 grown women, completely shattered by the same truth. Uche grabbed my hand tightly. "Pack your things. Right now. You are leaving this house today." "Today, Chioma." I looked at her, but I didn't move. Something inside me had already changed. I shook my head slowly and said, "Uche, I'm not leaving. Not yet. Not like this." She frowned. "What do you mean not like this?" I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "I cannot just walk away after everything he has done to me. He needs to feel what he has done to me. He needs to understand what he has taken from me." Uche looked at me for a long time with fear in her eyes. Then she said, "Chioma, a man like this is dangerous. Please just come with me. Please." I held her hands and said, "Trust me. Go home. I know what I am doing." She left. And the moment that door closed behind her, something settled inside me. I knew exactly what I was going to do. Then I took my car keys and I drove to the market. Not for groceries. Not for foodstuffs. Not for anything you would normally go to a market for. Deep down in my mind, I wanted to hurt Kelvin. I wanted him to feel pain the way I was feeling pain. I wanted him to know what it felt like to have something taken from you that you can never get back. I wanted to look him in the eyes and watch him understand, even for just one moment, exactly what he had done to me. I sat in that market for a long time. Looking. Thinking. Planning. And then something stopped me. I looked at myself. I looked at my hands. And I said, but Chioma, this is not who you are. This is not the woman your mother raised. This is not the woman who has spent 5 years on her knees asking God for a child. The woman who has kept this home with love and dignity every single day. Why will you destroy yourself, your conscience, your peace, your soul, for a man who was never worth any of it? Vengeance belongs to God. Not to me. I started my car. And I drove back home. Now when I walked through that front door, I stopped. Because Kelvin was home. In the middle of the afternoon. Sitting in the living room with his tie loosened and his face looking like the ground had swallowed everything he owned. I looked at him and said, "Why are you home so early?" He looked up at me with empty, defeated eyes and said, "Chioma, I was sacked today. My boss called me in this morning and terminated my appointment. He didn't give me any reason. Just like that. 5 years at that company, and just like that, it was over." He expected me to sit beside him. To comfort him. Instead, I stood up quietly. Walked to our bedroom. And started packing my bags. Kelvin followed me to the bedroom doorway. His voice confused and desperate. "Chioma, I just told you I lost my job, why are you packing your things? What is happening? Baby, please talk to me. What did I do?" I stopped. Turned around slowly. And looked at my husband. And I said, "Kelvin, is there anything you have ever asked me to do that I have not done? Anything? I have been nothing but a good wife to you. A faithful wife. A patient wife. A wife who loved you with everything she had and asked for nothing in return except the same love back. And what did I get?" He opened his mouth. "Chioma, I don't understand what is going on, please. So you still don't know what I am talking about? Let me help you. Who is supplier?" The caller left his face immediately. And I gave him the full truth. Every single word of it. I told him, "I went through your phone, Kelvin. I saw everything. Every picture. Every message. Every voice note. Every money transfer. I know about the girls. And I know about the boys. And I know that you are the reason we have no child. You went outside and slept with everything, men and women, and came back home every single night like a God-fearing husband. And every time you came back you deposited those dirty infections inside me. Into my body. Into my womb. The same womb I have been crying over in hospital after hospital for 5 years. 5 years, Kelvin." I looked at him and I cried. Not because I was weak. But because even in that moment, even with all that pain and anger burning inside me, I still could not fully understand how a person who claimed to love you could look you in the eyes every single day and do what he did. What did I ever do to deserve this? What did I ever do to you? He fell apart completely. He grabbed my hand. Tears running down his face. His whole body shaking. "Chioma, I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me. It is the devil. I promise you I will never do it again. Please don't leave me. Please. I am begging you. Please." I looked at this man. This man I had loved so completely. This man who had just lost his job, his dignity, and his marriage all in the same day. And I felt nothing. Not anger. Not sadness. Not even pity. Just the quiet peaceful nothing that comes when you have finally made peace with a decision. I picked up my phone. And I called Uche. "I am ready. Please come. I am ready." She did not ask a single question. In less than an hour she was at my gate. I finished packing everything I owned. Every single thing that belonged to me. As I walked to the front door I stopped one last time. I turned around and looked at Kelvin. Still kneeling there. Tears on his face. Hands reaching out. Begging. And I said, "You see, Kelvin, that is how karma works. The evil that men do never just disappears. It follows them. Quietly. Patiently. And it always, always, finds its way back home. My lawyers will be in touch. Do have a nice life." Uche took my bag without a word. We walked out of that gate together. And I did not look back. Not once. Not for one single second. Because the woman who walked into that house 5 years ago, full of love and trust and hope and prayers, was walking out of it today with something far more valuable. Her dignity. Her peace. Her freedom. Herself. As we drove out of that house, I made a promise to myself. That I would never again love someone so deeply that I forgot to love myself first. That I would never again trust someone so completely that I stopped listening to the quiet voice inside me that always, always, already knew. That I would never again stay somewhere I was being slowly destroyed simply because living felt too hard. Living was the easiest thing I ever did. To every woman watching this, please hear me. A man who truly loves you will never give you pain as a gift. A man who truly loves you will never use your trust as a weapon against you. A man who truly loves you will never sit beside you in a hospital holding your hand while he is the very reason you are there. You are not responsible for someone else's betrayal. You are only responsible for what you do when you find out. And when you find out, choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your future. You do not need to destroy the person who destroyed you. Just remove yourself. Step back. Because God sees everything. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share and follow for more African tales.